In a recent survey of employers asked to identify their most critical, most valued technical skills that they look for in employees these days, some surprising results came to the forefront. And when we look at technical skills, and when we look at what an employer considers to be a technical skill, so much is up for interpretation, and so much is according to the needs of the particular employer. But some things are universal, and some things seem to come up more often than others. When employers were asked to give us their feedback, the number one technical skill that they pointed to was communication skills. They pointed to communication skills to include writing skills, verbal skills, and interpersonal skills as the single most important. Employers have oftentimes expressed some frustration with college graduates that they might describe as illiterate, not able to write very well, not able to express themselves well verbally, and have poor people skills. So a number one technical skill employers point to are communication skills. Number two, working with diverse groups. Employers express a great interest in hiring open-minded, progressive-thinking employees who've had experience with working in diverse work settings and have a multicultural or even intercultural understanding. That people who can't work with groups that are different than themselves, who can't work with individuals who are different from themselves, are not as valuable as people that can. So an understanding of diverse groups, an understanding of diversity is a technical skill that employers point to. Another technical skill that employers point to, and not surprisingly, are computer skills. Even in jobs where computers, where it's not a computer company or a computer job, even in jobs that are non-technical, computer skills are very important these days. Knowledge of word processing, desktop publishing, office functions, emailing, and internet usage. That somebody who's not even in a computer field would still have to have some computer knowledge. That this is an important technical skill that professionals should have. Another technical skill that employers point to, leadership skills. Even if you are not going to be in a leadership position, self-management skills, administrative skills, supervisory skills, organizational skills. Again, thinking like a manager. Leadership skills are pointed to by employers as being particularly valuable in the people that they hire. One employer, when asked to sum up his thoughts about what made for a good worker, a good candidate, a good employee, said that he could sum it up in 3 words, and used the symbol of a triangle to describe what he looked for in all candidates. He said there are just 3 things, and the first thing is knowledge. That all candidates that he interviewed had to have knowledge. And that knowledge was kind of the basis or the starting point. That 100% of all the candidates that he interviewed had to have knowledge. And if the candidate went to school and learned important, relevant things in school, that they would in fact have knowledge. But the second thing that this employer also pointed to as being important was skills. That if the candidate applied that knowledge or had any kind of experience at all, that the likelihood of that candidate also having the right skills was very high, and that he needed them to have the right skills, but only 50% of the candidates he interviewed had the right skills. But he said the third thing was the most difficult thing to find. Oh yeah, all the candidates had the right knowledge, half of the candidates had the right skills, but the third thing, the most elusive thing, did they have the right attitude? And that when it came to attitude, that was the hardest thing to find, the rarest thing. That things like good work ethic, things like integrity, things like dependability, responsibility, a sense of initiative, being a good team player, trustworthiness, that these things were harder to find, but were the most important. And the real tiebreaker for those few elite candidates who made it to the top.